Welcome once again. We are back with this motherboard. So earlier on we disassembled it. Now we have the motherboard there. The problem with this laptop is that the customer said the laptop sometimes powers on, and when it powers on, there's no display. So in short, this laptop powers on, but it doesn't have the display. So let's check for ourselves. As I always say, you need to do your own diagnosis. Never rely on the customer's diagnosis because you never know. You need to diagnose for your own. Yes, even when you go to the doctor, a doctor will ask you what is the problem. Then later on, the doctor himself or herself will do what? Will do the diagnosis for you. So let's see what's wrong with this laptop. So the customer said it powers on, but no display. As always, we plug in the power supply and see what happens to the power supply. How is the power supply taking power? The behavior of the power supply, is it normal? Is it short? Is it no power? Whatever happens in the power supply, we are able to know actually what is wrong with this laptop. So when I plug into the power supply, it is taking 22 milliamp, 17, 14, 400, 1.3. So I believe the laptop is powered on. The fan is spinning at a very high speed, very, very high speed. And my power supply is taking 1.3 amperes, 1.2, 1 amperes. And the fan, you can hear the fan, the way it is spinning. The fan is spinning with a very high speed. Now the laptop is off and it is restarting. So the laptop is restarting again. And I can see there is an LED blinking at this particular side. Can you see? I don't know whether you can see it. That orange light there. 1, 2. Let's pay attention again to that LED because that LED means a lot. It tells you something. So when I plug in, it's taking 11. I can see the white light. 2. So we are going to see the pattern for that LED, and you are going to check what is actually wrong with that LED. What does that LED means? Because each and every LED in the laptops means something. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's 2 error. So what does the 2 error means? So let's check. In every Dell motherboard or every Dell laptop, we normally have what's called error codes. Error code is when a laptop has a problem, has an issue, or missing something. There are some lights. It could be a light or it could be a beeping sound. So this one is what's called the lights error code. Lights error code is when you have a light blinking. So it will blink in a certain pattern. We have a certain pattern. Now the laptop has gone off. So let's see. Let me share the screen so that you can see that error code. And that where you will get that error code, you will just get it from the Google. Yes, you will just sign the Google and then search the error codes that you will see actually what is wrong with that or what does the certain error codes mean. Yes, you will just have to sign into your. So let me give me a little 1 more minute to share the screen. Just 1 second. Yes, and that is my screen. So we need to sign up. Let's sign in to the Google. Now we are going to see the light Dell light. We call it codes or error codes, whichever. So light error code here. So let's have a look at the Dell error codes. What does that mean? So reference guide. So let's see. So these are the lights which we just saw, and our problem is 2. Yes, it was 2 ampere, 2 white. As you can see, the 2 ampere, 2 white, that is 2. We call it 2 error. Is system board. We could be having a problem to do with the motherboard, and especially the BIOS or ROM failure. So that could mean you have a BIOS problem. That tells why this laptop was spinning at a very high speed. Yes. When you have this error, as you can see, we have amber light that is, it seems like orange. I don't know whether we call it orange or amber. As you can see, we have amber one. When you see one orange blinking and then 6 white, what does that mean? That's not that error codes. We normally call it 1 6. As you can see, one amper 6. So when you see an error code written 1 6, it means 1 amper 6 white. That means this is EC internal failure. So that means we could be having a problem to do with the embedded controller. When you see an error code written 2 1, that means 2 amper and 1 white. That is a CPU failure. So that is very dangerous. Yes, when you see 2 1, that is a very dangerous error. Then you have 2 2. 2 2 means system board. That is the BIOS and ROM failure. And then what about 2 3? As you can see. Now we are not going to focus to all of these error codes, but I just want to show you we have those error codes. Now apart from that, you can see we also have 3 1. 3 1s, that is 3 ampere 1 white. That means RTC power failure. That is the CMOS battery. It means the CMOS battery has no power. Then you have 3 4. 3 4. This one means the BIOS recovery image not found, invalid. Let's see the troubleshooting. How do you fix these problems? Memory issue, that is 2 3 or 2 4. 2 3, what does that mean? And 2 4. 2 3 2, so this is no memory or RAM detected, that is memory and RAM failure. Then if it is 2 3, it means no RAM detected. If it is 2 4, it means the RAM has been detected, but it is having the problem. What about the BIOS corruption? When the laptop has an issue to do with the BIOS corruption, that is 3 3 and 3 4, indicates the BIOS fails to update. The system may need power recovery. So anyway, I am not going to discuss all of them. So as you can see, we have this problem to do with the light. So this is what's called a common Dell error code, light error codes. We also have the peeping error codes, whereby a laptop can peep in a certain pattern or in a certain behavior. There are certain peeping when you can see, maybe you can hear long 2 peeps or short 3 peeps. Whichever the peeps you can hear, it means also something. So in short, the laptop is trying to tell us it's having the problem at a particular point. And if you miss to recognize those error codes, you will end up doing what? You will end up misdiagnosing your motherboard. So as you can see, our laptop powers on, and then it has the error code, the 2 2, that is 2 2, and there 2 2, so it is something to do with the BIOS. So what does that mean? We need to do what? We need to program the BIOS and see whether this motherboard can be fixed. So to do that, I need the motherboard on the page. I need to have the motherboard on the page so that I can solder, or I can desolder the chip with ease, and I can also solder back the chip with ease without damaging the casing and without causing more problems. Yes, our main aim when we are dealing with these laptops is to ensure that we solve the problem or we fix the laptops, not to create more problems. Yes, sometimes you end up creating more problems instead of fixing the problems, and that is not a good. That's not good for business. Because after all, even though we are in this field to help people, actually we are offering the services to the people, but sometimes uh, we also do benefit from it. I cannot deny that we also do benefit. So this is also where we get the our daily bread. We also work, we work here so that we can get our daily bread. That is, we can earn our living through doing what? Through the repairs. So let me have the motherboard out. As you can see, I need this motherboard to be out, and it is not coming out. It's trying to be rude. Now I have the motherboard. So the motherboard is out, and our chip main chip is this one next to the EC. So next to the PCH. So this is our BIOS chip. Now that is the chip we are going to replace. We are going to replace that chip. So I power on my hotel. My hotel is on. Then I need my tweezer, which I have no idea where I placed it. It fell down. Then I have that paste. This is the soldering paste. So this is the chip I am going to replace. I'm going to replace that chip. So this chip is for 128. This one. This is the chip we are going to deal with. Yes, it is 16 MB file. It is out. Since this is the original chip, I am just going to preserve it somewhere. Let me preserve it. I'm preserving it here. Let me put it here so that I don't forget. Let it stay there. Okay, let me put it somewhere safe. Now I have another chip here. Okay, I know you're wondering whether you can just remove any chip from anywhere. No, we can't remove any chip from anywhere and put there and expect it to work. No, doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. So this chip, I had like 3 of them, the same model. This one I extracted it from another motherboard, of the same model, except part number, everything of the same part number. So in short, this is the same chip like the other one, which we just removed from here. So in short, it's like I am swapping the chip. It's like I am swapping the chip from another motherboard of the exact model to this one. Yes, I had another motherboard for Dell Inspiron 15 7000 series, which is exactly like this one. And again, pay attention to the direction of the chip. These chips also have the direction, so you need to pay attention to that direction. Now, my guy is soldered. The chip is soldered. The chip is soldered. As you can see, it contains directions. This particular point where there is a dot, there's a mark here on the motherboard, which shows that the mark should come to that area. Now, let's put back to the casing and test and see whether we will have any display or what are we gonna have. So let's put back to the casing and see what we have, whether the motherboard is powered on or whether the motherboard is not powering on at all. You know, sometimes we program the BIOS and then instead of motherboard powering on, it's now getting the motherboard now dies, and it dies for real, whereby we can't even then the motherboard is settled. Let's plug in the power port here. So the power port is inserted in. Power port inserted. What else? I need third port. I also need this LED. So this is the cable for the LED. I need it so that I can monitor the error codes, whether we still have an error codes or not. And this motherboard seems to have a lot of dirty stuffs. Let me also have the fan. Let me also have the fan in case we'll need it. In case the system needs the fan, let me install it. So that is the first round. I just I programmed the chip. I programmed the chip, which merges this. Not only I did program anyway, but it's like I programmed it because this is not the chip, the original chip for this motherboard. I need the fan. Now the fan is intact. There's something else. The motherboard is not yet settled properly. Now there's now settled. Now the motherboard is settled. Let me have one screw there for the motherboard. Because I don't wish to have motherboard dancing up and down. Now let me connect the screen because I'll need the screen in case I'll have anything on the display. I'll need to see it on the screen. The screen installed. Let me also boot back the CMOS. This is the BIOS battery. We need the BIOS battery. The BIOS is back. Now let's see. Let's see whether we will have any display or not. Let's see whether we'll have any display or not. Now I need the power port. We need a power port. Plugged in. 12 milliamps. 8. 100. Now this one is not powering on. And the LED is just stagnating. Can you see? I only have a constant white. Now 300 milliamps. And the fan spin like a hell. Yeah, the fan really spin with a very, very high speed. So let's wait and see whether we'll have any changes. The power supply is reading 300 milliamps. And for this motherboard, it is a very heavy motherboard. So I expect to have more than 1 ampere. So that tells me this laptop is not fully powered on, and it is just stagnating there at 300. It's at 300 milliamps. That means we still have a problem with this BIOS because it is doing nothing. Fan spinning at very speed. Okay. We're not going back to check the error code. We're not going back. Anyway, yeah, I think we still have a problem. So, since this bus chip didn't respond, since it did not respond, we are going to boot in another chip because I have another chip there. Because we have another chip, we are going to put it in. If it doesn't work, If it doesn't work, I think we will go for programming new one. This one is not working. This one is not working. Now let me have the motherboard out again. So let's again do what? Let's again replace that chip again. So let's also have that chip replaced for the second time. I like using this pizza. Now I have this one. This one didn't work. So let's try this newcomer. Let us try this other one. Let us try this other one. Now I have chip again. So next, put back the motherboard, the casing, and then try again. Try again until you get the correct file, the correct chip, which will power on this motherboard. Let me just use one screw to hold this motherboard here. The motherboard is held. I need the LED. I need the LED. LED is there. Then I need to boot back the screen. I need to connect the screen back. The screen connected. Then let me also have the CMOS. CMOS also connected. Now let us try it power on again and see what will happen again. Again and again and again. Let's hope we'll have different results this time. Back pin plugged in, and this one is powering on. This one is at 1.1. This one is at 1.1 amperes. Light blinking. This one is going 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. What does that mean? 1, 1, 3. It means what? Uh, 1, 3. Or 3, 1, 3 ampere, 1 watt. Power failure on the CMOS. Let's see the CMOS battery whether it is having any voltage. How do you check the CMOS battery for the voltage? You meet the voltage mode, then probes. I have the positive probe there, the negative. So the positive and the negative. And my CMOS is showing 0, 0.5, which is not good at the moment. I need a CMOS battery. And in my case, I don't know whether I have any. Let's see this. Let's see this whether it is having any power. You can replace this one. So this one also. Let's see whether it's having any voltage. This one also is fully drained. This one also have no voltage. That one have no voltage. Now tell me, where am I going to get CMOS? Do I have it in my box? Yes, I have one here, which I have no idea whether it is having any voltage or not. I have two now. I have two CMOSes here. So let's start with this tiny one. As you can see, it seems to be tiny, but still, it is also the watch. Seems to be tiny, but it is the CMOS. This one is having 2.9. That's very good. That's very good. What I am going to do now, I am going to extract this particular part that way. And I am going to use it here. I am going to use it here. Because this socket, I need this head that way. I need this head that way. Now, since I have the head, okay, that's just modification. We need to confirm first the laptop is on, the laptop is good before then after that, because we saw the error was about the CMOS battery. The error was about the CMOS battery. So let me use the correct adapter. The adapter for this is this big one. Yes, I have a very big adapter here. Plugged in. Now let's see. Let's see whether we will get any display. Plugged in. Still I have one spinning at a very high speed. Let's wait and see whether we'll have anything on the screen, whether it will have the display or not. Still, I have a problem to do with the CMOS. Yes. Yeah, I also have a problem to do with the CMOS. 3-1. The error code is 3-1. And the laptop stopped. So it means it did not register the CMOS. No, it registers. That's why when I plug in the power, the laptop doesn't come on by itself. It needs switching. The fan spin at a very high speed. And stopped. It powers on once and stopped. What is not happening? What's not happening, my people? 10 milliamps. One 1.2 amperes. And the laptop is not even restarting. So I think we still have a problem to do the BIOS. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to boot back the original chip, the original BIOS for this laptop, and then my expectation is that uh, the laptop will power on and it will, it might display. Why? So let us solder back the original chip. We're going to solder back the original chip. Now I have the original. Now I have the original chip soldered. This is the original. Since that is the original, there's something else I want to do. Let's check what is inside the heatsink. It could be this machine is overheating. So maybe we need to do some servicing here first. If these laptops get hot, sometimes they protect themselves. Oh, you can see it's very dry. Yes, the thermopaste are really dry. So we are going to wipe them out and then put in the fresh ones. We're going to wipe it out and then put in the fresh ones. Yes, when you're doing the thermopaste replacement, make sure you wipe the old one. Make sure you do away with the old. Make sure you do away with the old one, with the old thermopaste. Then we are going to put the fresh ones. So this is the thermopaste. So this is the thermopaste. As you can see, it is written there, thermopaste. So this one is a very good one. This one is used to cool down. This one is a coolant. So this one is a coolant. This one works best with the gaming laptops. Now I have the paste replaced. Hmm? Let's go manual installation. Huh? Okay, we only care about the CMOS getting installed and then being registered by the system. Now I have the CMOS installed. Let's plug in and see what happens. Plugged in, fan spinning like hell. And still you have the same results, 2 2, like before. So finally, this is the last file. I'm just going to test this one. If it doesn't work, we will postpone this work to be for another day. So the files which I swapped from another motherboard didn't work, so I decided to program a new one. So this is a very fresh one. So let's have a test it. I have soldered it on the motherboard. So we are going to test whether it will work or not. Plugged in, taking 400 milliamps, 900. Now this one is taking 900 milliamps, and the fan is spinning at a very high speed. The fan is spinning at a very high speed, and then it goes off. So I don't know why it went off. And the laptop is restarting. Okay, that's a good sign. It has restarted for the first time. That is still 900 milliamps. 900 milliamps. That tells me something good is going on with the CPU, because when it powers on once and no restarting, now it just went down and it is restarting for the third time, and I believe that would be the last option. So most of the time, this high-end laptop, especially the Dells, they must restart for at least 3 times before we get the display. When I see a laptop restarting, because now this one is restarting for the fourth time, so I don't know whether we shall have the display or not. But here, I am not receiving any error. The error code here, there is no any error code. Whether there's RAM problem, memory problem, CMOS problem, there is none. Now I believe that would be the fifth there. And it went off again. So it has restarted several times. So I don't know whether it's a good thing or bad thing. Okay, I don't know what's happening because it restarted with a lot of times. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you see? Wow, and you have the display. Yes, finally it worked. Eh? Finally it worked. Thank you so much. I like this. I like this. And we have the display. Wow, that is it. So I do not want to keep you longer than this because already I have we've waited. We've tried. We've tried to look for the BIOS for this. Okay, what I would like to share, what I would like to say, I want you to know that whenever you have an issue with the Dell, just make sure you consider what's called the error code. Yes. Look for the error code so that you know exactly what you're dealing with. You know, sometimes the problem is only to change the CMOS. So when you pay attention to the error codes, it will be easier for you to fix the Dell. Fixing the Dell is very easy. At the same time, very hard. Why? Because if you misdiagnose it, you will end up trying to fix wrong things. And again, if you get the right diagnosis, it will be easier because you will only focus on one particular line. So guys, thank you so much for being patient, and please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please, I'm still bleeding it to my people. Please subscribe, share with your friends, with intent to also give us some comments. And still, if you are interested in learning about laptop repairs, you can join us both online or physical, whichever the module you like to join. We are available online, and we also available there offline. And then if you have an issue with your laptop, you can send it to us. We fix for you and then send back to you. Or you can bring it yourself. You can bring it yourself. Eh? Yes. So thank you so much, you guys, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.